What's up guys, welcome back for another reaction video. So I'm gonna be checking out this little mini documentary. It's from Defying, and its title is The Night Elvis Presley Fought to Save His Career. You won't believe what the king did. Alright guys, yes, I haven't done none of these in a while, so I thought I would check it out because I want to see him. Okay, so I hope you will like this one and comment down below and let me know what y'all think. So guys, let's check this video out together.
What if I told you that the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley himself, faced a moment in his life when everything he had built seemed to be slipping away? His movies weren't drawing the same excitement. His music seemed lost in a changing world, and many wondered if his reign as a cultural icon was over. But then came one unforgettable night, a night when Elvis decided to take back control and fight for his career in a way no one could have predicted. What did he do? How did this one night not only save his career, but cement his place in history forever? Stay with us as we unravel the story of the night Elvis Presley fought against the odds, made bold decisions, and shocked everyone with what he did next. You won't believe how one decision changed everything for the king. The context: Elvis's career in crisis. By the late 1960s, Elvis Presley's career was in undeniable decline. Though he had once dominated the music charts and the silver screen, years of starring in formulaic, light-hearted Hollywood films had taken a toll on his public image. Elvis's movies were mostly low-budget musicals, produced at a rapid pace to capitalize on his fame. While they were initially successful, by the mid-1960s, both fans and critics had grown tired of the predictable plots and mediocre soundtracks. His reputation as a serious artist was fading, and many began to view him more as a commercial product than a groundbreaking musician. At a time when music was undergoing radical change,
I'm like, wow, when he said mediocre soundtrack, like, I'm like, Elvis, mediocre, ooh.
Elvis seemed to be stuck in a creative rut, unable to adapt to the new landscape. This was a time of great transformation in the music world. The late 1960s saw the rise of psychedelic rock, social activism in lyrics, and an influx of new sounds and ideas. British bands like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones were revolutionizing the industry, leaving a massive impact on American music. The youth of the era, who had once idolized Elvis, were now gravitating toward more experimental, countercultural artists who embodied the rebellious spirit of the time. Elvis, on the other hand, seemed disconnected from this movement. His career was largely defined by the safe, polished image crafted by his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, and he struggled to stay relevant in a rapidly evolving music scene. For many, it seemed like Elvis was no longer the cultural force he once was. According to biographers like Peter Guralnick in Last Train to Memphis, this period of Elvis's life was marked by frustration. He felt boxed in by the roles he was being offered and yearned to return to his roots as a serious musician. Those close to him, such as longtime friend Jerry Schilling, have recounted how Elvis was deeply aware of his diminishing stature in the music world. He wanted to be taken seriously again, to prove that he still had the talent, charisma, and magic that had made him the king of rock and roll. Elvis knew that something drastic had to change, and it was in this atmosphere of uncertainty and self-reflection that he prepared for the performance that would change everything.
So do you guys think like the movies hurt his career? Because like what I'm getting from this is like when he started to do these like they say rush movies, like they kind of hurt his career. What do y'all think? I'm not sure about it, but I don't know if that caused his career to start to go down, or was because other bands and other new sensation was coming out at that time and people was like kind of gravitating to them. Let me hear what y'all think.
The comeback special, a defining moment. The pivotal moment in Elvis Presley's career came when he made the bold decision to step away from the predictable,
1968
formulaic
comeback
movie
special.
roles that had defined much of the 1960s for him. After years of starring in musical comedies, Elvis grew frustrated with the way his career had stagnated. He felt that his talents were being wasted on films that no longer resonated with audiences. And worse, they were far removed from the raw, dynamic energy of his early rock and roll performances. Elvis yearned to reconnect with the public in a way that went beyond the screen, and he knew that the only way to do that was by returning to live performances. This was no small decision. It had been years since he had performed live, and the music industry had changed dramatically. To step back into the spotlight would be a huge risk, but for Elvis, it was a risk worth taking. He was determined to prove that he still had what it took to captivate an audience. That opportunity came in 1968 when NBC approached Elvis with the offer to star in a television special. Initially, the idea was for a simple Christmas-themed show, something that would showcase Elvis singing holiday favorites. But Elvis, along with the show's producer, Steve Binder, had a much bigger vision. Binder, an innovative television producer who believed in pushing creative boundaries, convinced Elvis that this was his chance to do something extraordinary. Instead of just another holiday special, they could create a program that would remind the world of who Elvis truly was, a groundbreaking performer and a musical pioneer. Together, they began to craft what would become the now legendary 1968 comeback special. The special was designed to be a raw, intimate return to Elvis's roots, and Binder played a key role in shaping its concept. In interviews, Binder has often recalled how committed Elvis was to making this special more than just a nostalgia act. Elvis wanted to deliver something real, something that captured the essence of who he had been when he first burst onto the scene. Binder encouraged Elvis to embrace his vulnerability and let go of the polished image that had dominated his Hollywood years. The result was a stripped-down, electrifying performance where Elvis was seen as the true rock and roll star he had always been. It was a risky move, but as the night of the performance would soon prove, it was also the moment that would redefine his legacy. 3. The night Elvis fought back. The night of the 1968 comeback special was nothing short of electrifying. For the first time in years, Elvis Presley stepped onto the stage, not as the Hollywood movie star or the polished product of the entertainment industry, but as the raw, unapologetic rock and roll icon who had once set the world on fire. The performance was intimate, taking place in a small studio with a select audience, allowing Elvis to feed off the energy in the room. The atmosphere was charged with excitement as Elvis delivered an unforgettable set that showcased his powerful voice, his undeniable charisma, and the magnetic stage presence that had made him a legend. Songs like Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, and Jailhouse Rock were performed with an intensity that reminded everyone just why Elvis had earned the title King of Rock and Roll. This was no ordinary performance. It was a statement. Elvis was back, and he was ready to reclaim his throne. One of the most iconic moments of the night was when Elvis
That's for sure. That performance was no ordinary performance for real. It surely showcased him for who he really was. Like, let them know I'm the king. I've been anywhere. I've gone anywhere. I'm still here. Okay. Yeah. Like, wow. That was a really, really good performance for sure. And each one of the ones that I watched, the 1968 comeback that I watched with him, wow, you totally enjoy it. And his voice is his voice, no matter what he's going through, that voice to me, like, it's always on top. Always.
took the stage wearing his now famous black leather outfit. The sleek, rebellious look was a far cry from the glitzy costumes and suits he had worn during his movie career. The leather outfit was more than just a fashion statement. It was symbolic of Elvis's return to his roots. It harkened back to the days when Elvis first burst onto the scene with his rebellious image, representing his connection to the gritty, raw energy of rock and roll. The black leather, paired with his guitar and that unmistakable smirk, signaled a re-emergence. It was as if Elvis was shedding the layers of Hollywood polish and reminding the world of the rebellion.
Yes, you see, I'm sure. I know I'm not the only one always seeing that smirk. You know, that little, I should say, signature smirk that he has. Like, ooh,
This
ooh.
Southern boy who had once revolutionized music. The outfit has since become synonymous with the comeback special and remains one of the most enduring images of Elvis. Historical accounts from TV archives and interviews with those who were present that night describe the atmosphere as electric. Steve Binder, the producer, has often spoken about the magic in the air that night. In interviews, Binder recalled how Elvis was nervous before the performance, unsure of how the audience would receive him after so many years away from live performances. But once he hit the stage, all doubts disappeared. Binder noted that the small studio audience was immediately captivated by Elvis's energy and confidence. Even decades later, fans and critics alike consider this performance one of the defining moments of Elvis's career. It was the night Elvis fought back against the doubts, the critics, and even his own insecurities, and won. 2. What he did that shocked everyone. One of the most shocking and defining elements of the 1968 comeback special was Elvis Presley's decision to break away from the traditional, scripted formula that had dominated much of his career in the previous decade. Despite the strong objections of his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis insisted on singing live during the special. Parker, always the businessman, had initially pushed for a safer, pre-recorded performance to ensure everything went smoothly. But Elvis had other ideas. He was determined to prove that he still had the raw talent and magnetism that had made him the king of rock and roll. He wanted this performance to be personal, real, and unscripted. Elvis wasn't just looking to give the audience another polished TV show. He wanted to connect with them in a way that hadn't been seen in years. His decision to perform live, despite the risks, was a testament to his commitment to authenticity. What made this choice even more remarkable was the simplicity of the setup. Instead of relying on a large production with elaborate choreography and flashy effects, Elvis chose to strip the performance down to its core: just him, his guitar, and a small band. This minimalistic approach allowed the audience to focus entirely on his voice, his presence, and the raw emotion he brought to each song. Gone were the overproduced soundtracks of his movie days. This was the real Elvis, unfiltered and exposed. The intimate nature of the performance, with Elvis seated in the round, surrounded by an audience, created an atmosphere.
I agree totally. I agree with that totally. For sure. And the audience sure they did that. Yeah, and even when you're watching, you could see that, and you totally enjoy because you're totally focusing on his voice. You're focusing on him, his whole movement and his whole interacting with the audience, and you can just see that he was so into his element, and he was surely putting on a real authentic show for real. Not gonna lie, yeah, it's that special is totally beautiful.
Atmosphere that felt more like a jam session than a TV special. This decision to embrace a raw, unpolished performance was exactly what shocked everyone. It was the kind of vulnerability that few expected from a star of his stature. But it was precisely what made the night so unforgettable. Biographers like Alana Nash have written extensively about Elvis's determination to take creative control during this period. In her analysis, Nash explains how this moment marked a turning point in Elvis's career, where he began to push back against the tightly controlled image that Colonel Parker had carefully constructed over the years. Elvis knew that to revive his career, he needed to take risks, and that meant breaking away from the scripted, predictable performances that had come to define him. The 1968 comeback special was a reflection of Elvis's refusal to play it safe. It was a chance for him to show the world that beneath the Hollywood image, there was still a man who could captivate an audience with nothing more than his voice and his guitar. This decision not only shocked his manager and the production team, it reignited the passion and admiration of his fans, who had been waiting for the real Elvis to return. The impact: Elvis's career reborn. The immediate reaction to Elvis Presley's 1968 comeback special was nothing short of extraordinary. Fans who had longed for the raw energy of the early Elvis were ecstatic, and critics were unanimous in their praise. The special was a breath of fresh air, reminding everyone why Elvis had once been the undisputed king of rock and roll. Entertainment reporters marveled at how Elvis, after years of playing it safe in Hollywood, had reclaimed his crown in one electrifying performance. Fans who had feared he'd lost his edge were thrilled to see him in his element once again, performing with the passion, charisma, and magnetism that had made him a global sensation. This special didn't just bring Elvis back into the spotlight, it revitalized his entire career. The overwhelmingly positive reception led to his return to live performances, something he hadn't done in years. Soon after, Elvis began his famous Las Vegas residency, which further solidified his status as a musical icon. Night after night, he performed to sold-out crowds, proving that his comeback wasn't just a one-time event, it was the start of a new chapter. His live performances in Las Vegas were nothing short of legendary, captivating audiences with the same intensity he had displayed during the comeback special. Elvis's career was reborn, and he wasn't just a rock star anymore. He was a legend, forever etched in the annals of music history. Critics hailed the comeback special as the turning point in Elvis's career. One entertainment reporter from Variety famously wrote, "Elvis has re-established himself as a force to be reckoned with." Biographers like Peter Guralnick have chronicled how this special reignited the public's interest in Elvis, marking a significant shift in his career trajectory. The comeback special wasn't just about nostalgia. It was about proving that Elvis still had the magic that made him an icon. His career, which had seemed to be fading, was now stronger than ever. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the bold choices Elvis made that night? Were you surprised by his decision to defy expectations and take control of his career? How do you think this moment shaped the rest of his legacy?
Wow, guys, that was surely a good one. Very interesting. Yeah, I think everyone was really like flabbergasted from the whole 68 comeback and then his residency in Vegas, guys. Like Elvis, like he surely did let them know, listen, I'm the king and I will be the king forever. All right, that performance was really good, and I'm glad that he decided not to do a pre-recorded video. He sing naturally, go on stage, be himself, be Elvis. That give them that true art performance. I'm tongue-tied. Give them that, that magnificent performance, guys. That really blew them away. I guess it had a lot of critic talking then, a lot of them backtrack their words, what they have talked about him previously. Okay, guys, yes, like, I haven't gone anywhere, guys. Here I am. This is me. I will not forever lose this voice. Yes, that performance was really good, and I like that he was interacting with the audience, showing his true self, and the fact that he chose to do that, and to be, because you can see that he really really loves his audience and he's a people person, so of course he would interact with them and have such. Yeah, because when you watch the special, you can see that he was laughing, talking with them, giving like a joke, and as always that like a beautiful smirk on his face, and yeah, he did give them a really good performance, guys. Like, this video was interesting. I want to hear from you guys. I love to hear when you guys talk about Elvis and tell me things that I don't know in the comment section. So I can't wait to hear what your take on this one. So, guys, I will catch you in another one. Thanks for watching. Bye.